event, the Agile20 Reflect Festival, where we're presenting Nigeria Agile for Good Governance, where we're uncovering a path to continuous improvement in governance. My name is Tolu Fagbola. I'm an educator and an Agile trainer, and I'm going to be your humble facilitator this evening, along with my co-host, Itopa. Itopa, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Itopa Sule. I'm based out of Toronto here. It's a bit cold here. And I'll be assisting Tolu today in facilitating this event. So I think we're set to go.
All right, thank you very much, Itopa. It's been an amazing 3 months where myself, yourself, and the other 15 Agilists came together to try to uncover new ways of new ideas for governance in Nigeria. And I'm excited and I'm humbled to be a part of this group with you and the other guys. Do you want to give us a run through of what we've got in store for everyone today, Itopa?
Definitely. So we're going to start straight away to give you a background of how we all came together, who brought us together and all that. After which we'll give everyone the opportunity to introduce themselves. Don't worry, it's going to be a very short introduction, but also filled with surprises. You're going to hear things from people that maybe they've not shared before. So be ready for that. So after that, we'll go straight into presenting some background information about Nigeria. And then we go into the main cause, why we are here, which is presentation of the Manifesto for Good Governance. Let me stop there for now, Tolu, because after that, we're going to get into some conversation, question and answers, but I want to keep some surprises.
Yeah. Are you talking about the cultural showcase, Itopa?
Cultural showcase is coming up. And we're also going to have Kahoot, where we throw out some questions and see how we perform. So a lot of exciting items still coming, but I want us to go slowly and just step by step.
All right. So let's get started by introducing our first guest to help us with the opening remark. We'd like to introduce a solicitor, a senior advocate of Nigeria. By the way, if you don't know, the senior advocate of Nigeria is the highest title for lawyers in the country. We'd like to introduce our Honorable Mr. Babatunde Ogala, SAN. Mr. Ogala, we'd like to welcome you. Can you please give us the opening remarks, sir?
Thank you very much, Tolu. Yes, Tolu Fagbola.
Yes.
When Messi called me a couple of days ago and spoke to me about being part of this, I wasn't going to hesitate to say no to her, first and foremost. And then when she sent me a few mails introducing what the Agile movement is about, again, I just could not say no to such a group of persons, 17 who have come together and have run together for 20 years. And have found me worthy to come and talk to them about good governance. In talking about good governance, I must share my experience in government with you. I was a legislator myself, so I had a little bit of first-hand experience of governance, besides being in politics and having been the National Legal Advisor of the All Progressive Congress. That's my own little background. So what I say, it's for you to either give it a partisan color or take me for where I am. The concept of governance in Nigeria has been one that I think I have grown from my childhood to my adulthood. It has been a recurring decimal. My own kids now are in their late 20s and 30s, and maybe early 30s, and they are talking about the same thing that I believe my parents talked about some 60 years ago when I was born. But we need not define what governance is. We all know what governance is, and we know what it ought to be. Then the idea of a good governance, good has no other definition. If you, for instance, ask me to define good, I will simply tell you good is good. I don't think there's any other definition for it. Good governance or governance is just, in my own very pedestrian definition, you giving us or leading us as a very basic minimum order with transparency and good order. Have we had that in Nigeria? No. Whose responsibility is it for us to have good governance in this country? I dare say it is you, it is me. More often than not, we say some persons are the government or whoever. Who is government? Government is us. We all collectively constitute government. And how do we as individuals attain good governance that we all crave? What can I do in my little corner? What can I do as citizen? What can I do as a patriot to see that my life is well governed? Both federal, state, and local government. And like I often tell people, talk is cheap. We must not just talk about good governance, we must get involved in governance. I say, with all sense of modesty, that if good people stay away, we leave the fourth to bad people. If wise men stay away, hello, am I with you? I hope I've not gone off.
Can hear you very well.
We can hear you. Thank you. Keep going, sir.
The screen played a game, so I just thought maybe I was off when it went blank. So, like I said, if wise men stay away, foolish men will make foolish laws that you, the wise, must obey. So if you stay away from governance, foolish men will govern you foolishly. So the first rule, we must all get involved. Talk is cheap. Talk about governance is cheap. People will tell you, oh, how do we get involved? Power is not served a la carte. It is not served on the dinner table. You must go for it. How now do you go for it? Creativity, advocacy, and most especially, direct participation. You cannot change it from outside. Do we need to all be politicians? If we need be, yes, yes, and yes. You can't be, and I'll give you instances. When I elected to join politics, I met a crop of young people who, in my opinion, were wasting away. Mercy will know some of these people like me I'm talking about. And I brought them under my wings. And today, to me, I said to them, if I can be, you can be. If I can lead, you can lead. To the glory of God, I can tell you in the past 15 or 20 years, at least I was able to change the orientation of at least 10 persons who are today becoming leaders, who are today seeing me as their mentor and their role model, and who are today, who have imbibed the culture of good governance as we try to. So, as a rule, we must all endeavor to get involved in governance. We can join the parties. We can form our parties. We can mobilize. We can advocate. We can influence thoughts. If you look at a state like the country like America, what is the caucus of the Democrats or the Republican Party? Nobody has a monopoly of anything. A Trump came from nowhere and upset the apple carts. And Obama came from nowhere, an unknown quantity, and ran over the entire order that was in place. How did they do it? They were able to bring in fresh faces into the parties. They brought in fresh faces, new people joined, And before they knew it, at the caucuses, these two persons ran away with victory. And you could also see the events of January, how a Trump, albeit negatively, had informed and influenced the thoughts of people, that some persons who you ordinarily would think are right-thinking people could imagine that they could even stage a coup in America, because that was exactly what they attempted to do on January 6th. So we too, in influencing governance, can also do this little bit in our corner. It's about little seeds. We try to influence thoughts. We try to show examples, because it is not enough. I mean, before I came on this webinar here, I was on a WhatsApp chat with some persons who said they were showing the video of a school somewhere in Ondo State, or Ogun State, where the students were learning under leaf tents and whatever. And somebody said, politicians. And I immediately interjected, why politicians? Why not us? And who is a politician? Who is our leader? Who is government? We in this group of 50, if we put together 50,000 each, which we can, if we wish, because that 50,000, if we go out on a Friday night, we spend it drinking champagne, just one bottle. And thereafter, 30 minutes after, you are in the restroom, pissing it away. So if 50 of us come together, we could do that. We could build that school. We could influence. If 20 of us volunteer, even 10 of us, to be part-time teachers once a week in that school, and I'm sure many of us today still have things that we were taught as primary school students right there in our head. Growing up child, in Yoruba, they will say, not your mountain one shape. It still resonates with some of us. As a grown-up child, nursery rhymes, we sang things like Isha Benisha Ilewa. It still resurrects. It resonates. And I've often had this question: what has then happened to things like Isha Bewa? Can we not go back there? Can we not start changing thought process? Can we not start the reorientation from there? And if I just might digress a little, I often ask my friends when we get into discussions like this, that talking about agric in this country, how come the arid north of Nigeria is the food basket of the tropical south? I can't explain it, but travel from Lagos to Ibadan Expressway, both sides of the road, dense forests. All you see springing up are churches and religious bodies. Travel Abeokuta to Benin, on both sides is dense forest. Travel London to Manchester, on both sides is agric land. I've traveled from DC to New York. It's green fields I see, green fields, not forest. I've traveled by train in Canada. I see green fields, and indeed many other. Why is it not so? It is failure of governance, we will say, because we have not put the right people there, or is it because we have not tried to influence thoughts? And let me say this, let none of us ever imagine that governance is dirty. Let us not imagine that politics is dirty. If it is dirty, and we leave it in the hands of the dirty people, then all we are saying is we have given up. We must influence thoughts. We must start thinking differently. Some say think outside the box. I don't even see the box. I don't want to see the box. So there's no box to think outside. I'm already outside it. So we must start thinking differently. We must start talking differently. We must act differently. Because it's one thing to talk about what you want. It's another thing to do your talk. We must start working our talk. We must influence thoughts. We must espouse these values, the good governance in our little corner. Don't ever imagine that nobody sees you. Let us do our bit in our corner. Let us participate in governance. In fact, for my Facebook, that was the thing last week. let us be part of good governance. And I guess my duty is not as a speaker, it's just to share my wild thoughts. And these are just wild thoughts
Thank you
that I
so much,
didn't
sir.
really research or write. And
Thank you
I
so
leave you
much.
with that and give you that to kick off the webinar. Thank you once again for the privilege and the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Mr. Agala. It's been a pleasure. And one of the things that I took from what you said is power is not served a la carte. We've got to go take it. And that's one of the reasons that we're here today. So thank you very much. It's been a pleasure having you here. Thank you.
Am I discharged? I can go?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are discharged. Because we would like you to stay for the rest of the...
Please.
Okay, I'll stay for as long as I can.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you once again for the privilege.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much. So now we would like to call on our Scrum Master Extraordinaire. The reason we are all here today. Mary has been the driving force of this project for the last couple of months. And because of her, we were able to come together as one. And through her amazing servant leadership, we're able to be here today. So to introduce our Scrum Master, our friend, Mary Laniyo, to give us an overview of why we are here today. Mary, please give us the overview.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you can see me and hear me.
Yes, we can.
Fantastic. A big thank you to our guest speaker, Babatunde Ogala, SAN. Thank you so much for honoring this event. And I really like the points you made there, that governance is not just down to a few. We all have to play our part. And that's exactly what we're trying to do here. And this was how it all started. I'm trying to give you, a brief on how it all started. So as preparations for the Agile20Reflect Festival got underway last year, we also saw the inception of the NSAS movement in Nigeria, a culmination of years of agitation from Nigerian youths. We had the privilege of following events as they unfolded, with images beamed across social media platforms. Though most of us were thousands of miles away from Nigeria, myself included, the Agile20Reflect Festival presented an opportunity for us to lend our voices to the movement for good governance. And the result is what we are presenting here today. To achieve this, 17 Nigerian Agilists came together to start the journey of uncovering a path to continuous improvement in governance, a reenactment to celebrate 20 years of the original Agile Manifesto. It has been an interesting journey and experience. Oops, I just lost my... It has been an interesting journey and experience working with fellow Nigerian Agilists, both in Nigeria and the diaspora, meeting weekly in spite of our busy schedules. And now here we are, 3 months later, ready to present our manifesto for good governance in Nigeria. For us as Agilists keen on promoting Agile for good governance in Nigeria and the wider society, this is a symbolic event and for sure a date in history. We are grateful to the original 17 that wrote the Agile Manifesto for taking the initiative, investing time, starting a movement, and for giving us a shoulder to stand on and equally make our prints in the sands of time. These values and principles serve as a guide that in themselves are subject to continuous review as we continue to inspect and adapt in a changing world. We don't want this event to be another talk shop, but we also know it won't be a big bang. One of the key reasons of the involvement of our special guest is to ensure actionable next steps after the festival. We have created a collaborative space and hope to continue the conversation, focusing on the critical next move that will help us achieve another delivery of value. I use this opportunity once again to say thank you to all the Agilists for accepting the invite to be a part of this and for the weekly time invested. A small but symbolic event, we have done this and we will continue to do our bit for posterity and for Nigeria. A big thank you to Scott for initiating the Agile20Reflect Festival and to everyone present here today to support this initiative. Thank you very much, and long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mary. That was amazing. Itopa, what do you think?
That was amazing. And you can all see how the passion that Mary brings to bear just is infectious. You cannot stand by. And that is why we're all here. That is week over week, we all come together to work on this. And I like the part where you say, this is the beginning of a journey. We know it may not be a big bang today, but we'll have done something, we'll have put our sign on the sand to say this is what we want to see going forward. That's my impression, Tolu.
Thank you so much, Itopa. Thank you so much, Mary, for opening up this event up for us. And now we would like to get every one of our 17 Agilists that are present today to introduce themselves. So the introductions, it's going to be light-hearted. It's going to be a little fun, very short. They're simply going to tell you who they are, where they're based, what they do, and an interesting fact about them. So I'm going to start with Pamela. Hi, Pamela. Can you please introduce yourself to our guests?
Hi, Tolu, and hi, Itopa. Loving your hat, Itopa. It's really, really interesting. My name is Pamela Ayodele. I am based in the UK. I am an Agile coach. One interesting thing about me is, hand on heart, I thought I was going to be a triathlete when I grew up. But there were 3 catches there. 1, I can't swim. Secondly, I don't know how to ride a bike. And thirdly, I really hate running. So that was my dream gone there. Anyway, thank you very much for attending. And over to you, Yabo.
Hello, my name is Yabo Kraiwe. Thank you, Pamela. I am a Chief Operating Officer right now. Started off as a project manager and a Chief Operating Officer working in the ERP space. Interesting thing about me is I'm a mongrel, full of different cultures. My father is Igbo, my mother, or was Igbo, my mother was from Sierra Leone, married to an Hausa man. So I'm a cultural, what can I say, myopia. But it's been an interesting journey with all these people. Thank you.
Okay, Yabo, hands over to Mercy.
Mercy.
You're muted, Mercy.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening. First, I want to say thank you, Scott. My name is Mercy Jojibafe. I'm the founder of Lento, a digital consulting company in Nigeria. And what's the interesting thing about me, which I hope to do eventually, I love adventure. I love high-risk adventure. I want to scuba dive. I've not done it yet. I want to bungee jump. I've not done it yet. And I want to be a lawyer, even if it's going to be at 70 years old. I want to. So those are the things that I'm yet to uncover. And over to who?
Victor.
Victor.
Hi guys, my name is Victor Wandu. I'm a lean agile strategy and delivery consultant here in the UK. I have, what can I say? My fun fact is this: while everybody was cut down in the lockdown, the COVID-19 lockdown, I occupied myself in trying to invent my own beer. I successfully did that. It tastes good to my tongue, and yeah, that's me basically. I now have free beers for most of my friends, and I'm happy to be here. This journey has been a very interesting one and a very enabling and humbling one at the same time, and I'm happy. Glad that you guys can make it here and join us in this August occasion. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it goes now to Tobe.
Yes, hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tobe Neji. I am an AWS Cloud Engagement Manager working and living in Dallas, Texas. An interesting thing about me is that I am a closet adrenaline junkie. So I would always chase after an opportunity to jump out of a plane. I've gone skydiving. I am going skydiving. I have gone ziplining, and I have gone jet skiing, and in a few months I'm skydive. So I'm definitely looking forward to that experience. But hey, don't tell my mom about it, because she would completely lose her top if she found out. Anyway, I am very happy to be here. Thank you, all of you, for joining in this event today. I'm looking forward to the beauty that we will experience through the next couple of hours. Over now to you, Godwin.
Thanks, Tobe. Tobe likes to skydive and jump out of the planes. I do not have any of those in my bucket list. So my name is Godwin Anthony Wawa. I live here in North Carolina, Charlotte to be precise. I'm an Agile coach, Scrum Master, and I don't know if I'm saying I'm happy, overblasted, I'm flaggerwhelmed to be here, but all the same, thank you guys for honoring us. And one fun fact or two about me, like I said, I hate heights. I've not ridden on this roller coaster, and I don't think I'm ready to do it. But I love playing Scrabble. I even play in competition. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for honoring our invitation, and I hand over to Grace.
Oh, hello, everyone. So my name's Grace, and I'm an Agile delivery manager in the UK. I live in London. And well, one interesting thing about me is that I do like to travel a lot and explore other cultures, because I'm interested in meeting people, eating different kinds of food, and that sort of thing. I'm very, very happy to be amongst these very talented people. And we have had a very wonderful time putting together this manifesto and our values today. Thank you, everyone. It's been a pleasure working with you all. And I hand over to Anu.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Anu Gopal. I live here in Frisco, Texas. Wow, I do so many things. So fun thing about me is I'm a woman of many parts. And the reason for that is I'm a loving mom. I've got 3 beautiful young children. I'm also a business agility coach, a trainer, a facilitator, and a systemic coach. And I'm glad to be here today with this amazing, wonderful 16 Agilists that lives in different parts of the world. So thank you, everybody, for joining. And I will pass on to Pete Omotosho.
Thank you, Anu. My name is Pete Omotosho. I bring you greetings from down under, Australia. I am an enterprise agile coach here in Australia. And one very fun part of me, or something that you probably will like to know, is I see myself as a serial optimist. No matter how dark a situation is, I always believe there is light at the end of the tunnel. And this keeps me going. And the other 16 Agilists will agree with me that we need enough of these to lead our teams, to make sure that, well, when everything is falling apart, we will reach a good end. And we will reach a good end with the Agile for Good Governance as well. And I see that happening. Thank you very much. And I'll hand over to Mary.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you for being here today. My name is Mary Lanignon. I am based in the United Kingdom, the beautiful garden of England, Kent. I am an enterprise agile coach as well. I'm a mother of 4 and grandmother to an amazing 3-year-old. Interesting fact about me, I loved cooking so much, I opened a restaurant. I had a restaurant for about 8 years, but today I hate cooking. I hate it. I don't even want to boil an egg. So maybe that's coming from, having been in a restaurant for so long. So that's it about me. Thank you for being here this evening. And who's next?
Jane.
Jane. Yes,
Oh, I'm jealous, yeah.
It's been an interesting journey with everyone here. My name is Jane Anuolam, originally from Imo State, Nigeria, currently based in Dallas, Texas. I'm an Agile enthusiast, a Scrum Master. Fun fact about me, I'll say I'm the opposite of Pamela. I found myself running all my life. And I'm excited to say that I have actually run 2 marathons in Nigeria. And for some weird reason, I think probably in my 40s, I'll probably do something in the Olympics, fingers crossed, but I just got to train harder. But happy to be here and very humbled to be amongst these experts. Thank you so much. And I'll hand over to Tolu.
Thanks so much, Jane. I'm going to hand over to Shola. Hi, Shola. Please introduce yourself and tell us an interesting fact about you.
Ẹ káàárọ̀, ẹ káàsán, ẹ káalẹ́ gbogbo èèyàn ní àgbáyé. Orúkọ tèmi ni Olúwaṣọlá ọmọ Williams. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, depending on where you tuned in from today. My name is Oluwashola Williams. You may call me Shola. I am a trained early years specialist. I'm a Scrum Master right now, and I am based in England, United Kingdom. What can I say about myself? I was a tomboy as a child, and I think I am very much still one. Thank you. Back to you, Tolu.
Thanks so much, Shola. That was amazing. So a little bit about me. I'm a trainer. I live in the UK in Kent, and I used to be afraid of heights a long time ago, and very much like Tobe, I decided, well, unlike Tobe, who's not yet jumped out of a plane, I decided I was going to jump out of a plane, and I did, landed on my butt, and I'm not so afraid of heights anymore. So yeah, that was an experience. So I do recommend you do it as soon as you can. Itopa, how about you?
Yeah, I'm Itopa Sule. I'm working out of Toronto. I've been here for about 11 years now. I'm an Agile coach. I also train. And interesting thing about me, because fear of height has become a theme, so I won't use that today, but that is usually my go-to item. So today I just want to share with this group that I have lived in 4 continents for at least 2 years. So if you're looking for some insight on what it means to live, say, in Tajikistan, come to me.
Wow. Okay. So what continents have you lived in?
Africa, Europe, Asia, and now I'm in North America.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Itopa. That's the introductions from the Agilists, who brought to you the Agile Manifesto for Good Governance in Nigeria, and we'll hear from Shola next. So Shola is going to present, is going to do a short presentation about Nigeria for us. And Shola, please take it away.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Fire away, Shola.
You want to put it in presentation mode?
Yes, okay.
I'm trying to do that, but my screen doesn't seem to be allowing me to do that. I'm sorry.
Shola, can you unmute yourself?
Mary, the bottom, at the bottom.
I know, but the Zoom thing is covering it, and I can't seem to get to it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Let's do it this way, it's fine.
I think you can go ahead.
Okay, brief history of Nigeria. Next slide. Nigeria is a country with 3 major tribes, the Igbos, Hausas, and Yorubas. And there are over 250 other ethnic groups with diverse cultures and dialects. Some are Bini, Yoruba Isoko, Ijo, Ogoni, Igala, Tiv, Yako, Idoma, Fulani, and Ibibio. Now, the Hausas are best known for their beautiful women, especially. That men are handsome too. They go into a lot of animal husbandry, and as such, they produce leather materials, leather items, and the notable musical instrument is the kakaki, and they mostly live in the north of Nigeria. The Igbos are best known for their business acumen. Anything that makes money, you'll find the Igbo people there. And they do perform this annual festival that's about the Maiden Spirit festival called the Agbohomuo. The annual performances showcase an ideal image of an ideal Igbo maiden with a mask worn by men. And then the most notable musical instrument is the oja, also known as the talking flute. It is said that the flute, when played, is meant to send a message to those who are trained to hear those messages. The Yorubas are best known for their spirituality and art, be it music, painting, crafts, and drama. You'd find the Yorubas doing those things mostly. And the picture there with a woman is a spiritual body paint, known as the Ori spiritual art. Ori means head. So the Yorubas believe whatever happens to you in life, you talk to your head, you talk to yourself. And the most notable musical instrument are the talking drums, which are a family of drums that is headed by the female drum, the mother drum. Again, they are called talking drums because they do relate messages to those who are trained to hear them. As a Yoruba woman, I've got no clue. I've got to be told what the drums are saying. Next slide. This is a list of all our leaders from when we gained independence in 1960 till date. And as you can see, we have gone through some military regimes and civilian regimes. Today, we are running a democratic federation under the leadership of retired General Muhammadu Buhari. Next slide. We have a wide range of tourist destinations in Nigeria, from the long expanded islands and beaches, the lovely coconut trees going on there and the produce, to the rocks. Perhaps one of the notable ones is the Aso Rock in Abuja, where our capital is at the moment, to the Oluma Rock in Ogun State, that has its history of providing refuge during war, to the Matsega Falls in Kaduna, the Agbokim Waterfall in Cross River, just to mention a few. Next slide. We're also blessed with mineral resources. The list is endless. As you can see from this diagram, from gold to diamond, to marble, to coal, limestone, we have them all. And so we also have cash crops that is not shown here, but from cocoa to timber to cashew, we got them all. And today, shea butter is dominating the beauty industry. And also, you can tell from all over the world that Nigerians are making headlines in whatever industry we find ourselves in, whatever part of the world we find ourselves in, we make a name for ourselves. And so the population of Nigeria today is estimated to be over 2 million people in Nigeria. And this is projected to double by 2050. So now more than ever, there is a need for government to be proactive to deliver good governance for the future. Being a trained teacher, I had to give your homework. So this is your homework, everyone, just to make it light. There's a documentary on Netflix called The Journey of an African Colony, and it's actually just about Nigeria. So if you want to know more about Nigeria, that is a good one to watch on Netflix. Thank you. Back to you, Tolu.
Thank you so much, Shola. That was amazing. One of the things that really struck me is the fact that we are around 200 million people right now. I remember when I was a kid in primary school and high school, they told us we were 80 million, and in the last few years we've grown exponentially, and if we are looking to double by 2050, you said it's now more than ever very critical to have good governance. And yes, thank you so much for the presentation. Itope, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, that was, each time I hear this, even though I'm a Nigerian, I still discover new things. Like, we're looking at the resources and everything. And I like where you point out that resources fine, but look at the people. That is, if you ask me, that is the main richness of that country, the teeming population. So yeah, that was interesting. And now, Tolu, this is actually the time we should have a drum roll, because we're now going into the next item, which is presentation of the manifesto, the values and the principles. Do you want to quickly invite the presenters?
Absolutely. So this is the moment we've been waiting for, Itopa. Over the last few months, we've been working hard with the rest of the team to pull together the manifesto for good governance, the values, the principles, and to help us launch this document, we have Ms. Pamela Ayodele. Hi, Pamela. How are you feeling this evening? Are you ready to present the manifesto?
Hello, Tolu. Thank you very much. And yes, I'm really good and just really excited about the fact that 17 of us could come together and just put this wonderful work together. Good governance is something that I think is really important for any country and any nation. And we can see from Shola's presentation that Nigeria is a country that doesn't struggle with natural resources. We've got the resources. What we need to begin to think about now is how and what we need to do as individuals. It's collective responsibility. It's not about one particular person. It's about what each and every one of us can bring to the table. So with that in mind, we came together as 17 Agilists to put together our version of the Agile Manifesto. So it's really, really important for you to know that this is a conversation starter. And that is why we're here this evening. So if Mary, could you please bring up the slide so that we can go through it together? This has been very, very a labor of love on our part, because we have met together every Saturday.
Press F5 so it can be on full screen. F5.
I've met together every Saturday to make sure that this day becomes a reality. So with that in mind, myself and Pete are going to go through the Agile values and the principles. I will read out the values and Pete will read out the principles. So let's take it from the top. Thank you very much, Mary. Next slide, please. So as I just alluded to, these are 17 values, 4 values and 17 principles that we have written. And I'm just going to read out the statement as it is, because this is a statement that is that has come from everyone. And I do not want to add or take away from that statement. So here I go. This is a statement of values and principles by 17 Nigerian Agilists, uncovering new paths to continuous improvement in governance. A collaborative effort inspired by 20 years anniversary of the original Agile Manifesto, which in itself offered us an opportunity to promote Agile for good governance and create awareness for its wider adoption. And the Agile values that we have been able to coin and come up with are: we prefer, or we would like to see, meritocracy over nepotism, freedom of expression over government oppression, people-centered leadership over autocracy, value-driven initiatives over white elephant projects, I will hand over to Pete now.
Thank you so much, Pamela. And we have also put together another 12 principles. So there are 12 principles that the 17 Agilists have put together. And this is as part of the Manifesto for Good Governance in Nigeria. So my role here is to present the 12 principles, and here they are. Number one, invest in modern infrastructure to optimize end-to-end value chain. Number two, regular reviews of effectiveness of plans based on key success indicators. Number three, review the current constitution for alignment and better interpretation and execution at all levels of government. Number four, governance is independent of religious and ethnic bias. And number five, adopt, improve the use of technology to make government processes lean, simpler, faster, efficient, and more transparent. Number six, the education sector should be periodically reviewed for new ways of teaching and learning that promotes innovation and cultural values. Number seven, a robust electoral process that provides a level playing field for everyone, including Nigerians in the diaspora. Number eight, evolving our educational system to respond to the social, cultural, and technological needs of the nation. And number nine, the right of the citizens to express their expectations for accountability in governance without fear of intimidation or prosecution. Number 10, ensure the basic needs of every Nigerian is met through the creation of a comprehensive database to inform strategies for various demographics. Number 11, adopt a lean agile approach to project funding. And this is to ensure incremental delivery of value to all citizens. And finally, number 12, public-private sectors and citizens alike collaborate together regularly to drive policies. So while we appreciate how far Nigeria as a nation has gone in a journey against tremendous challenges, we believe, however, that there is always room for improvement in any system, Nigeria inclusive. It is to this end that we have crafted the above 4 values and the 12 principles, highlighting our current realities and desires. These values and principles should hopefully serve as a guide and would equally be subject to periodic update and review as we continue to inspect and adapt. So this is the coalition of the Manifesto for Good Governance in Nigeria. And thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you so much, Pete and Pamela. That was amazing. You guys did a fantastic job in sort of pacing us through the values and the principles. So, Itopa, what we're going to do now is we're going to open up the webinar to questions. So what we'd like all our attendees to do is put in any of your questions in the Q&A box, and we'll field the questions to some of our panelists. So Grace and Godwin, will be answering some of these questions, and we may get some of the other panelists to answer some specific questions you may have. So if anybody has got a question about the manifesto, about the values, about the principles, do put it in the chat box. Itopa, what are your thoughts so far?
Yeah, I just want to add, I think you cover what we're going to do next very well. I just want to add that the values and the principles will be available on our LinkedIn page. If you are wondering how do we access this, it will be available. This is now a public document. We have unveiled it, and we will find a way to work with everyone on how to periodically update it. So yeah, we are open for question and answers.
Great, and I think you just answered the first question, really, which is how do you intend to disseminate this?
Oh, really?
I'm going to ask Grace and Godwin now to answer the first question, which is, what do you guys mean by the lean agile approach? Grace, Godwin, can you answer that for us, please?
Yes, absolutely. So what is lean agile and what is agile? Lean agile is a combination of using the agile framework and lean processes. Lean just refers to cost-efficient operations, as in you do everything without waste. So you eliminate as much waste as possible in your processes. Agile is a mindset. It's a mindset because for you to be an Agilist, you have to embrace it, imbibe it, become it. And it speaks of working together in a collaborative manner to focus on creating value when you are working on anything, be it you want to develop a new project, a new product, you are thinking of improving your processes, as in governance. So your focus is actually ensuring that you deliver value incrementally. So usually, agile processes try to work in sprints, which means we do little chunks of work in specific time periods. And then we make sure that we're concentrating or focusing on delivering value at each increment of that final product until it's all delivered. And when you add lean to that, it means that you are actually trying as much as possible not to accumulate too much wastage. You make sure that you use everything efficiently. You do not make too many mistakes, so you're not reworking too many times. So you do everything well the first time around, hopefully. I hope that answers the question for you.
Thank you so much, Grace. I couldn't have answered it better myself. There are quite a few questions dropping in, and I'm conscious of the fact that we've got about 10 minutes dedicated to questions. So I'm going to run through them quite quickly. So the next question comes from Mr. Douglas Itkin, who says, are you aware of any other countries in Africa or around the world that tried to create an Agile Manifesto? Now, I think I want to open this up to any one of the panelists, including Scott or Mercy or Mary. Does anyone know of any other countries in Africa or around the world that tried to create an Agile Manifesto? Panelists?
This is Mary speaking, not that I know of. Of course, there are documents everywhere for good governance, but for something quite similar to this, where we are reenacting the Agile Manifesto, not that I know of, not that I know of.
All right.
If I may add to that as well, totally, I think this is one of the innovative things that has come out of the Agile Manifesto, the reenactment of it. So I think Scott might be a better person to equally answer. So I would like him to speak, if there is any. Scott, my boss.
I don't think Scott is right here now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We'll ask him when if it gets back in, just with regards to the perspective of other countries around the world. So I'll move on to the next question. Victor Database says, great document, amazing vision to actually collaborate and put this together. How do we move forward with implementing these values and principles in Nigeria? Grace, Godwin?
So I'm going to start this conversation, and then I'll also move and let Mary take over from wherever I stop. So like we alluded, we're not saying that this is going to take traction right away. And we're not saying that this is going to start working tomorrow. We're always saying this is a conversation starter. This is where we want to start. We want to get this started. And then we're not letting this down. We're not just doing this for show so that we show our beautiful faces and then we just go back home and sit down tomorrow. We want to engage, and this is an opening for us to start engaging the right people, the stakeholders, and those that are actually involved. I mean, we've been talking about Agile, and we say it's a mindset. So as governance is also a mindset. We need that mindset shift so that we can actually work as a great nation that we are. We're over 200 whatever millions, and you said something. There's always some joke we say in Nigeria that any place you live and you don't find a Nigeria there, leave, that place is not habitable. So I'll let Mary take over.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Godwin. I like what our very first guest speaker said. He said governance is everybody's responsibility. So this is not just about, we are putting this out there strictly for the people in politics, strictly for the people in government. We're putting this out there for everybody. And we also know that this is not going to be a big bang, but also it is not going to be a talk shop at all. We didn't come together and spend 3 months together only for it to be a talk shop, so that Mercy can wear her beanie attire and show herself up today. No, this is serious business, okay? This is serious business. So we have created a LinkedIn page, okay, for Agile for Good Governance LinkedIn page, where we're going to continue the conversation. We have somebody here today as one of our guests who is into Projects and Monitoring and Evaluation Institute. He actually heads the Institute of Monitoring and Evaluation. And the key reason he's here today is so that that conversation can continue. Okay, it may not be a big bang, but even for those of you here today, what do you know about Agile? What do you know about Lean? Are you business owners? Agile and Lean are principles that you can actually practice in your personal life. So how about we start with our personal lives? We're talking about business agility. We're talking about learning agility. We have the internet. The internet is a university today, but are we learning? Are we actually leveraging our, the possibilities that the internet offers? So when we talk about Lean Agile mindset, it is for everybody. So quite frankly, when you leave here today, we are asking you to take a call to action. Go and find out, what is Agile? How can I begin to learn Agile? What can Agile do for me and my family? What can Agile do for my community? Okay, what can Agile do for my community? Am I a business owner? If you're a business owner and your business is successful because you are applying the Lean Agile mindset, then that is good for Nigeria, because that means employment for some people. Because if you're a small business and you are employing 2 or 3 people, trust me, you are adding value to Nigeria. So if you can learn more about what Lean Agile is all about, who knows, you might be opening another branch of your business, and that is adding to the GDP of Nigeria. So yes, this conversation is going to continue. It's not just going to be a talk shop, and we have the LinkedIn page to continue that conversation. And we will be talking concretely with our guests that have honored our invitation here today. I hope that helps.
So
thank you very much, Mary. Thank you very much, Mary. Thanks, Mercy. Hi, Scott. Thanks to have you here. I saw that you said change is always multi-generational and needs a positive incline. I guess there was a question that we thought you may be best placed to answer. The question was, do we know of anywhere in the world, any country that has adapted the Agile Manifesto? Are you aware of any countries in Africa or around the world that have tried to create an Agile Manifesto? Do you know of any at all, Scott?
So I whilst your slides were going up, I grabbed some screenshots, and I immediately contacted the trustees and said, this is such a powerful thing. It was our intention in the festival that we do you have dandelions in Africa? The flower of the dandelion, the weed.
Yeah, we do.
Many people thought what we were doing was in the festival was celebrating 20 years ago or looking back to what's happened, but it wasn't that at all. The festival is like a dandelion. It's colorful, it's beautiful, right? But dandelions grow everywhere, yeah? So it's ubiquitous. It's a kind of common thing, but we wanted this to be common. But what happens with dandelions is overnight, and it does happen overnight. Watch it, try and see it happen. The yellow bits are like socks, and they just fall off, and then these seeds appear, and overnight you get the dandelion clock. And the dandelion clock is the most aeronautical thing ever. If we could actually design planes like that, we could get around the planet much easier. And it just takes the lightest of wind to take these seeds everywhere. What the festival was trying to do was to bring people together, yeah, so that we could have seeds, and those seeds would go out. What you've done with the manifesto is a seed. It's beautiful. I actually contacted the trustees whilst you were answering questions, and said we need to take what Nigeria has done so other countries can do it. We need more of these seeds. So well done, bravo! I am incredibly proud of you. I'm incredibly proud. It's almost like the hairs on the back of my neck are standing up for what you've done.
Great. Thank you so much, Scott. Thank you so much. And we'll hear from Scott much later on. So the next question is, has this group been able to work directly with any Nigerian government staff to train them to work in this way? Have they created transparent and prioritized work boards?
Okay, we're gonna defer that to Mary as well.
Okay.
Oh, mercy.
Oh, mine actually.
Okay, that's an interesting one. At this point, I think I mean we were going to mention it anyway. For the past 3 years, a lady called Agile20Reflect has been working in Nigeria, okay? And she's been trying really hard to promote Agile in Nigeria. And I want to believe that she has touched quite a few private organizations and government institutions. It's early days yet. And all over the world, even here in the UK, the government, they are always the last to come on board. The private sectors are usually the ones that run with it. So I'm not so sure, I couldn't tell you which institutions in particular are using Agile in terms of government institutions, but the movement has started. And it has started, it started 3 years ago, like I said, with the Agile Advisor of Africa. The Agile Advisor Africa. They started that 3 years ago. Yes, so baby steps. And that is why we're doing this, to also create a lot of awareness and to get more people to come on board. So I hope that answers your question.
So Mary, if I can equally add to that, I mean, I'm so glad that you mentioned Agile20Reflect for what she has done.
Yeah.
I know that she directly tried to work with the Lagos state government, like that we have a lot of bottlenecks and a lot of hurdles to cross. I like one thing that Mary said during her speech in the fact that this is the first step.
Mm-hmm.
We have taken the first minimum viable. There's going to be a next step, which is going to be open to anyone that wants to join. There's a conversation for the next step. We're not just stopping here. This is one of the brilliant things that Agile has done. 17 Nigerians, I don't know if you understand what that means. Pete is in Australia. It's time that he joins us. He's ridiculous, but he's always committed to the cause. So this is something that we have started, and it's indeed baby step, where there's a lot of conversation with government parastatal. I know that Lento is doing that at the moment. Abby has started it. Mary is doing it. A lot of us are going to take this forward. Hopefully, with the help of Honorable Babatunde Ogala, we'll be able to present this to the Senate, because he was formerly the legal advisor to the APC. So hopefully we'll get all the hands that we can get to present this to the government so that they can get to see what Agile can do to countries if we adopt them right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mercy. Thank you so much.
And Tolu, before you go on, I actually have a challenge for all the attendees. We have over 100 people listening to us today. And my challenge is simple. Share this with at least 5 people in your network. Because that's what we're doing. The first step for us was to come together. I said, how can we do something about this? Do the same thing with your network. And before you know it, the influence that we're talking about, the awareness that we're talking about will come. That's my challenge for everyone on the call.
Fantastic. And as we proceed, our coordinators will put in our LinkedIn group into the chat so that everybody will have access to it and share and join us as we express our as we grow on this journey.
Also, I'd like to make sure that this event ends up in the archive, and I want to use all the resources of the festival to make sure that gets seen by as many people around the world. And I've also asked Sathpal, who did the interviews with the patrons of the festival, all the senior Agilists, to try and get you together to talk about this journey.
Absolutely.
I think I'm actually more interested in listening to you and what you've done than perhaps some of the other people.
Good. Okay, I'm going to take another couple of questions. Couple of questions. Sorry, who's sorry, Godwin.
Pete's hand is up.
Yeah, we will not. Once we are giving accolades, so let's, to whom much is given, much is there. So let's also give accolades to Anu. She did one magical helping girls in Nigeria learn.
We're coming to that. We're coming to that later.
Okay.
We're coming to promo. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Godwin. I'm direct the next question to you, Godwin. So it's similar to the kind of questions we've been having so far, and I think that's becoming a recurring theme. So this is from Gus Nkwocha. It says, is the primary challenge for Nigeria one of fostering a shared vision of our people, place in the world, or one of execution in pursuit of that vision? Secondly, which of these represents the MVP this group aims to deliver? So which of these represents the MVP this group aims to deliver?
Can you give me the 2 lines again? One was what?
So the primary challenge for Nigeria is one of fostering a shared vision of our people, a place in the world, or one of execution in pursuit of that vision. Secondly, which of these represents the MVP for this group aims to deliver?
Thank you very much, Solu, for that. I think it's much of fostering that unity, because all we're talking about here today is that Nigeria is not working. We're not saying it's not working as a nation, it's alive, but it's just that every facet of government is broken. I mean, from the local government, if you're going to see somebody in the local government, the security guy there has the right to stop you from not coming in, and you cannot do nothing about that. So from the local government to the president, the whole system is broken. And we've been talking about Agile. Let's even digress back. What is Agile? We said earlier that Agile is a mindset. It's a set of beliefs, it's a principle that kind of changes your way of thinking from a fixed mindset to a mindset that collaborates everything together. I mean, we know we use it in software development, but all we're trying to do is to change that mindset, that government is not all about nepotism. Government is not all about my own people. Government is about inclusiveness. Government is about everybody. And so when we're talking about governance, we're not just saying, oh, governance in one state, or one state is doing better than the other. We're talking about an inclusive government that treats everybody equal as one. Where if I'm born in Lagos State, today I'm born in Lagos State, but I cannot claim to be Lagosian because I have a state of origin, which I don't understand. And so there are so many ways we can go through there. But I think our MVP is us to get this talking. We're not saying we've gotten this down now, just like we've all been saying, we have to continue talking and we have to continue collaborating. We've started the journey. This is not the end. This is just the beginning. So for me, our MVP is how we are going to now take this from where we started to the point where we want it to get, and which is we want to collaborate. We want people to talk to us. You know, we were thinking, oh, let's invite ministers. They may not have our time. I mean, kudos to those that attended today. I'm sure if we are giving this invitation to local government councillors, they won't even come, not to talk of going to the people in houses and Senate. So our MVP is for us to start talking, for us to start collaborating, and for people, like-minded people like us, to see this not just a shop talk, to see this not just us here wearing good clothes, that we're here and we mean it. We love our country. I mean, we're here. We have what we want here. But I still need to go home without feeling of being kidnapped. You know, so let's start the conversation. And that is what we're calling on people to do. Thank you very much.
And if I can just quickly add to that, another call to action.
Itopa's hand has been up. Itopa's hand has been up.
Itopa is the host. Don't worry.
Yeah, no,
I think Pete, Pete, I beg your pardon.
Okay. Pete, did you want to say something?
Yeah, there was a question that came up about what a government is doing and which other government in the world. I just want to throw it out there that the US government came up with the Agile Assessment Guide, which the US government accountability office spearheaded. So it started there, they're using it. And a couple of years ago, we saw on the PRF that Lagos State actually had the very first PMO, although it was waterfall in nature. But yeah, that is a good start, which means if we continue the conversation, just like Godwin have said, just like Mary have said, that is the starting point. There is so much we can do when we apply agile mindset, a lean mindset into governance in Nigeria. And that is where we are starting from. The MVP is out there. We continue to do our bit. We just need a lot of evangelists, which 101 people on this call can start with us to evangelize that we want a better Nigeria, and start with each and every one of us. And just like Mr. Babatunde Ogala said again, everybody is a government on its own. So let's go for it.
Thank you very much, Pete. So I'm going to go to Mary real quickly, and then I'm going to move on to our guests. Okay, so Mary, you were going to say something. Right after you're done, I'm going to bring on Mr. Aliyu Aminu Ahmed.
Pete just covered what I wanted to say. Everybody is government.
Great. So thank you very much, guys. It's been a pleasure. We've had so many questions, and we will continue to tackle your questions. Some of the panelists will be answering some of your questions individually, and we'll be taking this conversation forward. When we are done, the panelists will stay behind, those who can, and then if we can continue the conversation, and we'll have another round of questions. So we're not ignoring the questions that you've put in. We will come back to them. So we will move on to the next item on the agenda now. So I would like to call on our guest of honor, the CEO of the Monitoring and Evaluation Institute. He's a monitoring and evaluation consultant and a policy advocate, Mr. Aliyu Aminu Ahmed. Mr. Ahmed,
thank you very much.
Share your thoughts with us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Could you please permit me to share screen?
Yes, you can.
Not yet.
It will be nice to see your face.
I mean, I had to move around to find network.
Okay.
I think you understand, sir. Sorry,
okay.
Yes, you should be able to share your screen now. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So basically, thank you very much for the presentation. So I'll make it very snappy. Actually, I'm going to talk about 6 things. 1, what is governance? And then 2, governance principles. 3, corporate governance.
I think we just lost.
Did we lose Aliyu?
We just lost.
I think we lost the network.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Mikam, we have the second guest here.
Okay. Hi, Mikam. We'll get Mr. Aliyu back on as soon as his network is available.
Good evening. I'll try and make myself visible.
Thank you very much, Mikem.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm delighted to be here this evening, afternoon, or morning, depending on where you are. Let me just do a quick self-intro. My name is Mekam Ngwenwelu. I am the immediate past commissioner for technology development in Imo State. I'm currently a co-founder of a tech hub called Unzuko Labs in Enugu and in Imo State. I have 25 years plus experience in management consulting, both in the public and private sector. I've worked in several African countries, namely Botswana, Rwanda, Uganda, DCR, Ghana, and so on and so forth. I was part of the team that brought Microsoft Corporation into Nigeria. I've been an EU consultant, a DFID consultant, etc. I'm an avid outdoor enthusiast, and in terms of fun facts, I'm a very keen swimmer, and I have swum in the Indian Ocean off the coast of Mombasa in Kenya. Okay, on that note, let me quickly dive in to say that I was introduced to Agile by Mary. Mary and I actually are part of a think tank, and she mentioned Agile on the forum, and I got curious. And she was so gracious enough to give me a very comprehensive lecture on Agile, after which I started taking training courses online. So she has evangelized me successfully, and I'm converted. In terms of my understanding of the practicality of Agile in Nigeria, where I work currently, a nation's greatest asset are its human capital. Not the oil, but the people are the greatest asset of every nation. Nigeria needs to harness and optimize its human capital for good governance. Now, because human transformation is at the very heart of Agile transformation, Agile values and principles present a compelling opportunity to positively impact in the fortunes of Africa's largest economy. So we're not talking theory here, we're being very practical. For me, in terms of comments, I'd just like to say that being part of this forum so far, I'm delighted to see two things. First of all, the diversity of the people, not just in terms of where in Nigeria they come from. I'm from Imo State, but I grew up in Lagos, so I speak Igbo, I speak Yoruba. I love banga soup and so on and so forth. So I love diversity, and it appeals to me. But yes, I think that's a strength for the Agile movement. And then secondly, I see women are very well represented at the very echelon of this group, and that again is a very big plus. So that's by way of a commentary. I'm conscious of time, so I'm going to be very brief. One of the things that came to mind was to think of a critique of what I have observed and what I've learned so far in regards to the whole Agile movement or values and principles. I don't think I have a critique. I think what I see here is an opportunity more than a critique. And, the opportunity lies in the fact that you can juxtapose the concept with real world or real Nigerian problems or challenges in a way that is mutually beneficial and profitable. So you're not running a charity, you're running a business, and you need to pay bills and so on and so forth. So Agile represents a means to hit the ground running and to see rapid impact and solutions. So having said all that, once again, I commend the organizers and the panelists of this event. I am traveling out of Nigeria at the moment. I shall be back in Nigeria soon. And in fact, when I get back, I'm going to try and run some what I call taster courses in Agile, so that I can begin in my own sphere of influence to evangelize on this very important methodology. So on that note, thank you very much again for inviting me. And if there are any questions, I'll be happy to take them. Mary, thank you very much for the lectures you've given me to date. And thank you again to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mikam. That was really, it's an honor to have you here with us. And it's really amazing to have somebody who's influential in government, really evangelizing with us and for us, and really taking the steps that we do need to begin to take in Nigeria today. And I wonder if any of my colleagues and Agilists have any questions for you. Itopa, I want to start with you. What are your thoughts so far based on what Mikam said?
I think that was just a great feedback to get. This is somebody who was introduced to this entire concept. And from what I can see, he has actually imbibed it. So I think that this gives us hope that if we can make that initial contact, if we can go out of our way to touch one person, there is probability that that person will touch 10 more. So I think it validates what we're doing today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Any of my Agilists have any questions for Mikam? I mean, he touched on a number of really critical ideas here. You know, he's been getting a lot of coaching and tutoring from Mary. So Mary, what do you have to say about that?
I have a question to
Yeah, when I told him about Agile, well, he saw that I was an Agilist and immediately connected with me, you know, and he was just so curious. And that was how I started teaching him all about Agile, you know, as much as I could. And I gave him some materials to digest. He probably knows more Agile than I do right now.
No, not at all.
As you can see, he said he's totally sold and he's going to be doing something with it. So like Itopa said, that's one person that has been infected and he's going to infect some more people.
Yeah, amazing.
And that is where my question comes, Mary, to Mikam. I lived and worked in Imo State for like 2 years, and I know how difficult it is to get things done in statewide and in Nigeria. So, and especially getting things done in traction in government. And as a matter of fact, my boss then is actually here today. But my question to you is, how do you help with this, with the government bottlenecks and bureaucracy attached to everything that government's, and how would you be able to go drive this through government? You know, in Agile, we start from the top. You don't want to start from this from the down and then go up. You want to go from up down. So how do you intend to do this? I know you cannot share everything with us, but how do you intend to go from here?
Okay, this is a fantastic question, and I thank you for that. First of all, there are different ecosystems that you can impact, not just government, in a state such as Imo and other states in Nigeria. So what I mean by that is you have the learning community, you have academia, okay? You have, when I say academia, you have the lecturers and you even have the learners. You have the political space, which is a space that I'm very much involved in. And then of course you have government, and then you have influencers. So what you need to do is you need to look for the low-hanging fruit in any of these ecosystems, penetrate and gain mind share. It's not an easy process. It's not a sort of one-night process. There's no one-size-fits-all. But what is critical is you must be innovative, and you must be quick to understand where the pain points are in any of these ecosystems, and be willing to have the patience to work through to the solution. The problems in Nigeria there are many. And in Imo State, I mean, I served as a commissioner. I know the challenges I faced as a commissioner. But you know what? I came in as a commissioner, and in less than 4 months, I trained over 10,000 young people in tech. My ministry, which was the newest ministry in Imo State, was the best performing, and I had zero budget. My background is in tech, it's in business, it's in project management. So I'm trained by nature to solve problems because I see problems as opportunities. So in conclusion, to answer your question, government is just one space. There's academia, there's even civil society, because the challenge this group faces is not so much getting the big people in government to buy in, but getting a whole cross-section of stakeholders to appreciate the value. So that if, for instance, you have a commissioner who has zero knowledge of Agile, but but you can influence the directors under that commissioner or even the permanent secretary in the ministry, then you have a route to penetrate. So creativity is very, very important in being able to gain mind share and create impact as far as Agile is concerned.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Meekem. Peter has a question. Hi, Peter. Do you have a question for Meekem?
Yes, I do. Thank you, Meekem, and really do like your presentation. What you said, it actually speaks volume of an Agile evangelist. I know Mary must have told you that Agile is all about mindset shift, and this is very critical in governance in Nigeria. Now, we have our own perspectives, but from someone who has been in government, how would you rate the readiness of people in government to go through the mindset shift? And the second question to that is, what do you think you as a person and people that have the same influence as yours can do to influence people to go on that mindset shift journey?
Okay, Peter, thank you very much. It's nice to engage with you. One of the things that I think that will enable that mindset shift is to identify intersections, okay? So it's like if you want to convince someone of something, you get to know them as a person, okay? So now when I say intersections, what are those possible intersections that are prevalent in Nigeria that Agile enthusiasts can take advantage of? And I'll give you one. I could give you more. Project management. Nigerians are crazy about project management. And so this is a window that you can use to enter the room, to have the conversation and enable that mindset shift. Project management is very, very enthusiastically embraced by the tech space, by managers in Nigeria. Everybody wants to be a PMP or a PMI and so on and so forth. And so the point is, I look for those things like, I talked about project management, monitoring and evaluation. I worked in the presidency in Abuja, okay? I was head of M&E for 1.5 billion naira dollar government program, SureP. Some of you may have heard of SureP. So my point is, you have project management as a discipline, and that's an intersection point. You have monitoring and evaluation. I actually work with Aliu, and that's another intersection point. And you can identify others, and then you use those as leverages to enter the room and to have the conversation. That's my response to you.
Thank you so much, Meekem. Thank you so much. It's an honor to have you here. Thank you. I just want to check if Aliu is back online.
He's back.
All right. Hi, Aliu. The floor is yours. Try to share your screen if you need to. Aliu, are you there?
I can't see him.
I can see him as well.
He's not there.
Okay. So we are going to move on to the next item. We are going to move on to the next item on the agenda, where we will have our very own Mr. Cultural himself, Mr. Victor Nwadu, talk to us a little bit about our cultural diversity in the country. Hi, Victor.
Hi, Tolu. Hi, everybody. It's me again. What is Nigeria? Nigeria is 200 million people. Nigeria is 36 states. Nigeria is 371 tribes. Nigeria is 250 to 500 ethnic groups and languages. Popular rhetoric is that our diversity is an impediment to stable and effective governance. However, as Agilists, we see our diversity as a blessing. One nation from many. Even the 11th Agile principle makes this clear, very, very clear. It states, and I quote, "The best architecture's requirements and designs emerge from self-organizing teams." Self-organizing teams. What does this mean for Nigeria? That means Nigeria can unleash our greatest potential by operating a true federalist system where each state is self-governing. Again, self-governing and free to manage its own resources and engage business opportunities that benefit their indigenes and their way of life. So the question now is, Why aren't we there now? If it's that simple. While I just allow you guys to crystallize that in your mind, I will pass the mic to Ogun Mawuyo, who is going to spit out a chant for good governance in our own Yoruba language. Thank you.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We're ready for you, Mercy.
Oh, sorry, I got dropped off network. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ìṣèjọba dáradára ṣóhun ló mú wa débí. Ìjọba tó dára tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ìkópa àwọn ènìyàn, ìyẹn participation, tó tún yanrantí nínú ìlò òfin, that is the rule of law. Ǹjẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ wípé àkóyawọ́ transparency a máa bí olórí dáradára tó wà responsive, a sì máa ṣe ìpinnu pẹ̀lú ìpòǹpọ̀ àwọn ènìyàn tí a ń ṣèjọba lórí wọn. That is to say, you have to be consensus oriented. Ẹ má mà pé àtọ́tọ́nu pípọ̀ bí Yorùbá bọ̀ wọ́n ní ìfura lòògùn àgbà. Pánsá òfura, pánsá jámọ́, àjà òfura, ajá jẹ sí kòtò. Onílé tí òfura, ọ̀gára ní kó irú wọn. Ẹ má mà jẹ́ àsàsùpárá o. Ẹ má mà jẹ́ àsàsùpárá o. Kájídì gbẹ̀gbẹ̀rẹ̀, kátàkìjì, sí àǹfààní tó wà ní ìṣèjọba dáradára, ìjọba tó wà inclusive, ìfisípò tó wà effective, tó nípa efficiency ọ̀bẹ yìí o, bábánbárí rẹ̀ ní accountability o. Ìṣe ìjọba tó dára kì í ṣe ìgbéga ìwà jẹbánuwọ̀bìà. Good governance is a must in Nigeria o. Gbogbo oníwà ìbàjẹ́ alájẹbánuwọ̀bìà tí ń bẹ níjọba wa, ìgbó rẹ̀. Ètò ìṣe ìjọba dáradára, èyí tí Agile ra wọlé lónìí, á yọrí sí rere. Àṣẹ. Ọmọ Ádámù dá lókun, ara ń dá o. Gèlè ọmọ lèrè láyé wé. Ọmọ Ádámù dá lókun, ara ń dá o. Gèlè ọmọ lèrè láyé wé. Ọmọ Ádámù dá o. Gèlè ọmọ lèrè láyé wé. My name is Audrey. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mercy. So that was spoken word poetry, slam poetry, Yoruba, little bits of inflections in English. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Now I'm going to call on Scott to give us his remark. Hi, Scott. How have you found
Aliu
this?
is back, please. Aliu is back.
Oh, okay. Apologies, Scott. We'll just after Aliu, we'll get you one. We'll get you one. Hi, Aliu. Are you back with us?
I'm back. I hope it goes well. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you perfect. We can hear you perfect. You can make your screen.
How many minutes has he got? Will you let him know his time?
5 minutes.
You got 5 minutes. Yes. Thank you.
So you start Agile with the communication industry, actually. So basically, governance is the exercise of economic, political, and administrative authority to manage a country, maybe a state level and local government level. So basically, in governance, you are going to have a lot of mechanisms, processes, and institutions. And the principles of governance is to have legitimacy and voice of the people. So all people have to equal opportunity to participate in governance. And then also performance, responsiveness, and efficiency. Then accountability and transparency. Then direction and vision. And finally, fairness and equity. These are the principles of governance. So governance is not limited to only public sector. You have corporate governance, where you have a system to manage businesses and control businesses and so on. So with this new technology and several other things, governance is evolving. So we have a lot of information around and a lot of technology, economy, globalization, democracy, freedom. And these are the things that we are seeing emerging everywhere in every country, including Nigeria. So let's find is a type of project management process where demands and solutions evolve through collaboration and self-organizing. So it's very flexible and simple. And Agile can be applied in private sector, civil society sector, as well the public sector. Although I know the public sector is quite. So the original Agile principles were 4. I mean, the major principles. There are other 12 ones explaining the major ones. So first is individual interaction over processes, and then make sure that the software is working over too many documentations, and then ensure customer collaboration rather than working on too much contracting negotiation and so on. And then responding to change. That is flexible, not to stick to plan continuously. So what I'm talking today is not about making the agile governance good. No, it's not about the agile now. Introducing agile to good governance. So we need to get the concept very well. Agile for good governance is not equal to agile, good agile governance. So the agile for good governance is something that Nigerians in diaspora and some few Nigerians here, 17 of them, came up with this novel new innovation, which I really commend them for doing that. And they also have 4 values like the original Agile, and then they have 12 principles, which was presented earlier. Now, for you to have Agile for good governance, I think the buzzwords there, you need to have a visionary leader, and then decisions should be driven by consensus. There should be justice, transparency, inclusiveness, and then equity and representation. So if we are able to put all this together, then definitely we are going to have good governance, and it will lead to economic growth and sustainable development. So what I'm looking at is that you have got very my advice is that first of all, try to understand the situation.
Okay. Hi, Aliyu. We can see your slides, but I think we've lost you a little bit. So based on what Aliyu is saying, I think the first thing is to identify individuals and organizations to collaborate with to promote Agile movements in Nigeria, is talking about focusing on governance transformation in Nigeria, and sell the idea to the world, which I think is, this presentation seems to be doing a great job of. Prioritize the public sector. And what was the call to action there, Mercy? Was the last thing?
So next, what next?
Yeah. So
and we've already talked about it. Our next action point.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's go on.
Yeah, this is the point where I would say let's look at the agenda, because just to be clear, all the documents that are presented today will be available in case you want to get to the end of that presentation. It will be available for you to take a look at after. So
thank you so much.
Yeah.
So we can we get Scott? Scott was meant to go right after the cultural presentation. Hi, Scott. Are you with us?
Okay.
Thanks so much.
I tried to rush it, but I don't know whether you have listened.
Yeah, hello? We did.
Hi, Ali, apologies.
His network.
So I very, very erratic.
Go on. Was there anything you wanted to add, Ali? We were really on the last action point, the next steps, you said. What was the next step?
The next step, I think, for us to work together with other groups so that we can promote the Agile ideology in the country. So we are open and we look forward to collaborating with you.
Fantastic. Wow. Thank you so much. It's really good to have you here. It's really good to hear from you. Can we move on to Scott now? Finally, apologies, Scott. How are you feeling today?
No, think about it. All you've done is, you've responded to change and not followed.
Absolutely, and that's what we do as Agilists, right?
Yeah,
great.
I've got so much I want to say, and the first is a huge thank you. I'm incredibly humbled to be invited along here anyway, but then to see what you've done, I'm just humbled. So I am blown away. I am completely blown away by what you've done. I want to talk a little bit around about the festival and my journey with Nigeria. So that's an interesting one as well. So the first thing I'll say is last year my birthday is the 13th of March. It was the day before the UK shut down. For my birthday, my wife gave me a espresso coffee machine, and as I wasn't allowed out for 6 months, it was very nice to have my own coffee in the house, and I was very thankful. So I'll always remember the date. At that time, the world shrank, and the world moved 10 years forward. Not everyone in the world realized the world moved 10 years forward. Not everyone realized the world shrunk. If a year ago you said to me that I would be sitting here talking to 17 Agilists from Nigeria and across the diaspora, talking about how they could tackle political issues with Agile, I would not have believed you. If you said to me a year ago that I would have had most of the artwork and everything else in the festival developed in Nigeria, I would not have believed you. Grace, who I work with, is run most of the ambassador network around the world. I've got an observation though. Everyone I meet in Nigeria and everyone that I meet in Agile underestimate their power. It's almost like there's imposter syndrome in everyone I've met, and it's so humbling. But I think I think the opportunity of the world moving forward 10 years and the interconnectedness of 10 years, and even the positioning of Nigeria between the USA and India in time zone, it should really open up a lot of the technology markets and much more than ever before. With COVID, we've really experienced that the world's much smaller, and instead of Nigeria being a place that we get resources from, Nigeria is a world partner. I think that's just amazing. I am blessed by my Nigerian friends. I am blessed by my Nigerian interaction, and I'm humbled to be here. I want to say a couple of things about governance and Agile, and then I'll stop because I know it's been a long call, and you don't really want to listen to me, but the world needs change now more than ever, and it needs change for the big things. I'm Scottish, but I'm a human, and I breathe the same oxygen, and I'm pretty sure that within 6 months, every single molecule of oxygen I breathe will probably be across the world, and some will be in Nigeria. We are much more connected. The oceans, the streams, and everything else are much more connected. And when we look at things like climate change, when we look at the rise of populism around the world, when we look at just the negative things, we're better together as humans. Mercy used to always call me boss, and I always said, call me brother. I really believe that we are brothers and sisters. And if there's one thing the Agile movement I love is its complete focus on lack of hierarchy. I've done a lot of work as well in the festival over having gender equality events. When we pick the patrons, we look for gender equality there. When we pick the trustees and the ambassadors, again we look for gender equality. I believe that equality, education, are the things that is going to lift the world to a much better place. Strongly believe in those things. For me, good governance comes from removing fear and replacing that with courage. And replacing that courage so we have the courage to change things. At the moment that the police and the press and everyone else are in the business of selling you fearful stories. They're in and picking stories of division. I can assure you, no news network is going to pick up what you've done tonight. But if one bad thing happened in Lagos tomorrow, it would be all over the news. Okay, what you've done with the manifesto here is really worthy and noteworthy, and it's also done something. Instead of trying to stretch something that was written for software to be applicable to what you're trying to do, you've actually went back to first principles and created it yourself. And what you've created is a vision. Okay, and with a vision, everything else is details. And what do I mean by that? To get people together from across the world to come up with a shared vision is one of the hardest things to do, and you've done that, and that's just amazing. In terms of Agile, sometimes we get caught up too much on methods. So are you doing Scrum? Are you doing Kanban? Is it scaled Agile? Is it not scaled Agile? So even within the Agile community, there's a lot of tribes. And partly what we're trying to do with the festival was to get beyond the tribes and get beyond the differences, to get to bigger things that we can think about. What you have created is one of the bigger things we can think about. Anyone new to Agile, I would really just put put everything into 4 questions. And again, I would kind of suggest that you as a group keep these questions and take them forward, and as you work together over the following years to take them. The first one is collaboration. Yeah. How can we collaborate better? So I'm a great believer in ethics. And one of the things the festival is also doing is trying to promote ethics within the Agile community. And, we could have collaborated better on that ethics because there was only 32 people who came up with it. So how could you get more people involved? And already on this call, I've heard, how could you expand your collaboration? Everything starts with collaboration. You've had a great start. Think, how can I do it better? Delivery. Okay, so you actually delivered, a concept, and you've delivered the session, and you've delivered it into the festival. So that's the first thing you've delivered. The second thing is, what's your next delivery? What are you going to deliver? And delivering it. It's getting away from ideas to action. Ideas are easy. Action is hard. How are you delivering it? And then once you've delivered, reflecting. And what does reflect mean? Well, it means that you kind of actually see what's been delivered. I think a lot of governments promise things, and a lot of governments go out to do things, but they don't like the reflection piece. No government likes to see their true record. No government likes to see how did their manifesto, that word again, compared to what they actually delivered. So always take time to reflect as a group and think, how could we reflect better? And the other thing is improve. So take that cycle to improve. When you collaborate, deliver, reflect, and improve, you go around a little cycle. And every time you do that little cycle, it's like a wheel that turns. But the wheel doesn't go back to where it started. It goes back to a place that's slightly better. Okay, and if you draw that wheel that gets a little bit better each cycle and goes on, you end up with a positive incline. And that's where the positive incline comes from. Don't be annoyed that things aren't perfect. And don't be annoyed that humans will fail. And don't be annoyed that you will do things wrong. Focus on things being slightly better than the day before. And that's all you got to do as Agilists. It's the small, tangible, actionable steps that you take forward. Perfect is the enemy. If you come back in a week and say, yeah, we had 12 principles, but we actually think they need to be 13 because we just thought of another one, that's Agile. Yeah, you're not walking down from Mount Sinai with some chiseled rules here. Yeah, these are living documents. You're living people. Someone else comes into the group with a better idea you hadn't thought of. It's not like, well, they weren't there, so they can't get it in. Embrace everyone and take it in. So again, you know, this is how Agile can help. And if you do this as well, you can drive fear out and you can replace it with fair. That's all. I mean, governance is a big fancy word, but all we want from our governments is to be fair. Doesn't matter whether you're here in Scotland or in Nigeria, you want them to be fair. And governments, you know, will always try and use fear of the other. And the beautiful thing that you've done tonight is you've visualized the tribal differences in Nigeria, but you've raised it to a higher point, a higher vision, and that's beautiful. So yeah, we are one human family. I'm hoping Agile can bring us all together. I know in the festival it's brought us all together. You know, at certain times in life, things happen that I'll spend a lot of time reflecting on in the future. I suspect this is a session and a meeting that I will spend a lot of time over the rest of my life talking about, because this was incredibly important. I can't put it any other way, but you know, I love what you've done, and I love you for doing it, and I'm just completely humbled. You've done much more than I've done. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Scott. Very good to hear from you. So, Itopa, here's the points that we as Agilists need to inspect and adapt, respond to change rather than following a plan. The plan was to have a Kahoot quiz. Should we or should we not Kahoot? That is the question. Whilst we're making that decision, Tobe, you're up next. Would you be ready with the promotions slides, please? Kahoot or no Kahoot? Itopa, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, that's the question. And looking at where we are on the agenda and how far we've come, I would say
a lot of people are saying no Kahoot.
Yeah, so I would say let's go to the next item outside of Kahoot. And you know what, that's one thing that not sure if we can do offline, but let's see. Okay, we are polling.
Oh, we're polling. Would you like the Kahoot game about Nigeria? Yes, no, yes, no. Okay. Yes.
Yes. Carry on. Tobe can carry on.
Okay. Oh, wow. That's interesting. So can we get what we're going to do is we're going to adapt a little bit. We'll get Tobe to share some of the work that some of the Agilists are doing. We will then get Yabo to give us our closing remarks. Some of the Agilists will stay behind to field some of the questions that the audience have. So if you want to hang out with us, by all means do so. Whilst we're hanging out, we will do the Kahoot if you want it. So, hi, Tobe.
Hey, hi, how are you?
Very good, thank you.
It has been an interesting past couple of hours, so it's great that we're now at this point. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we can. Can you make it full screen?
Is it full screen now?
Not yet.
Press F5 on your system. Are you using it? Okay, you're on a Mac.
The Mac, yeah.
At the bottom, Tobe, at the bottom notes, comments, you will see a little knob. No, to the bottom.
You're saying to make it a slideshow, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, this is, yes. Okay, so there we are. Is that better
There you go.
now?
Fantastic.
Great. All right, so my job here is to have the slide up and call on, whoever is on the slide to speak for 1 minute about what it is that they're working on. A bunch of us on here have other things that we do outside of our day jobs or with our day jobs and initiatives that we have chosen to push forward using the Agile mindset and just doing our little part to create an additional wave in the pool of evangelizing the beauty of Agile and adopting that mindset. So first off, we have Victor. Do you want to come on for a minute to tell us about the APIAM and RAF model that you have established?
Thank you, Toby. Yeah, hi guys. Again, I'm Victor Wandu. I'm the principal of the Q platform and the founder of Agility.com. These are Agile. Thank you, Jane. These are Agile consultancies and group efforts to help our people in the industry. I came up with this APM rats to kind of espouse and highlight the cultural differences when we're doing Agile as Agilists and consultants and Agile coaches. Our main priority is to help transform organizations, and to do that we need to change the mindsets and the culture of those organizations. Unfortunately, when Western Agile coaches come over to Africa and the Middle East, they assume a Western mentality and they try to embed that in a mishmash of indigenous cultures that causes all sorts of problems. This APM RATS model is an endeavor, an effort to help them understand the entire ecosystem when they are operating in these regions. And it's a simple form. It's in two parts. If you look at I'm not going to go into details because I've just got 1 minute, but if you look at the first one is a row and columns of different parts, different types of typical organizations and the internal and external cultures acting on them. Right. The first one is a typical Western culture, and this is where these our guys come from in the West. And the other one is a hybrid of Western cultures in Africa, which are just the middle point of the old map. And the bottom one is where the issues are, where this entire thing is all about, where we have internal cultures and external cultures in typically indigenous companies, usually organizations like the ministry, the police, the military, and academic boards, academic environments, and hospitals. Yes, the other parts of it is just there's functionalities and some good parts of it. This is an organic model. I'm still getting data, so if you guys can help me, organizations in all these regions, please feed into my channel at YouTube, Agility.com websites, and yes, we will get back to you and try to modulate and improve on our model. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Victor. The intersection of culture and agility. That's definitely something for us to look forward to. Up next, we have Mercy. Mercy, you're writing a book, a sort of yellow page. You want to tell us about it?
Yeah, my name is Mercy Jojibafe. I'm the founder of Lento, a digital consulting company here in Nigeria. And I'm in cahoots with Ives, is the author of Who is Agile. He wrote it 10 years ago. And when he wrote it, there wasn't any representation of Black, especially female, a lot of females. And it's been duplicated and replicated in multiple countries. So I have the singular honor, which I'm very humbled by, to co-author, just create a repository of brilliant Nigerian Agilists across the globe, wherever you are. So long as you are in the IT space, it's not a must that you're an Agilist. It's just your story for the world to see. And it gives you opportunity to showcase your work. Say, for instance, Victor comes with the model is working. There's a link embedded, which can redirect people to. Here is an opportunity to tell your story yourself. And it's heavily ranked, and you'll be found, and research will come back to you. I'll drop the link in the chat. We will appreciate your response. The first iteration will be published next week. So if you're the first people to share your story, you will see it published and you can make reference to it. Thank you so much. And it's an honor to have the honor to present this to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Mercy. We're definitely looking forward to that good repository work that you're doing. Next, we have Tolu coming up with LearnFlow Africa. Do you want to tell us more about that, Tolu?
Yes, sure. Thanks so much, Tobe. LearnFlow Africa is a learning platform for training providers and content creators in Nigeria and Africa who want to increase the revenue, move the learning to digital platforms, and allow learners across the world access their content more accessibly. The reason we decided to bring this platform or solution together is because in Nigeria, as we know, about 60% of the population are under 25 years old, and the growing population coupled with the growing internet penetration and the fact that about 1 million students are unable to get into higher education, and when they do, they come out half-baked, they can't get into the workforce, they're not productive. There's an increase in skills gaps in the country, and as we grow exponentially, that skills gaps are widening. But on the other hand, we've got a massive amount of talent out there, lots of passionate, skilled educators, teachers, training professionals, content creators who are able to solve the problem of the skills gap shortages. And the idea is to create a platform for them to simply, cheaply, and profitably deliver content and shorten, reduce those skills gaps across the continent, starting from Nigeria. So learnflow.org is our contribution to help reduce the skills gaps in the country. And yeah, I'm proud to have a team that are working in a very agile way to deliver this product. Thanks, Sabe.
I am definitely looking forward to that. And hey, I just might be one of the people on your platform because I'm looking
we'd love to have you.
Several learning initiatives. All right, so thank you so much for that, Tolu. And next up, we have Mary. Mary, you have been doing quite some work on YouTube. You want to tell us about it?
Yes, I have. Sincerely Agile with Mary. And that comes up every Sunday, 6 o'clock in the UK, 7 p.m. in Lagos, 9 p.m. in Nairobi. What do? We talk about everything Agile from different perspectives. We could be talking about business, we could be talking about humanity, we could be talking about governance and leadership, anything. Tomorrow, for example, I have a family business expert coming on in the name of Nike Anani. She's coming to talk about generational wealth being passed down generations. We all hear about how some families are rich today and then they are poor tomorrow. How can we be more agile? How can we be more lean in our businesses? How can we bring our young one into our businesses? So I talk about different things, but the focus is promoting the lean agile mindset. So go to YouTube, please, and subscribe to my channel and help me grow this channel so that we can all be agile. We can all embrace the lean agile mindset and do amazing things for ourselves and for our country and for the wider society. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mary. I like that tagline that you have on there, collaborative journey of awesomeness and wholesomeness.
That's it.
Good. And then I know that Abby is not here today, but Abby is someone that has been doing a lot of good work in the Agile community back home in Nigeria. Mary, did you want to speak a little bit?
Absolutely. This presentation will be incomplete if we don't mention Abby. Abby was in Canada and then she relocated to Nigeria, I think about 3-4 years ago. And she's been shouting from the rooftop, rooftop about Agile. doing so much to, you know, really evangelize and get a lot of organizations and individuals on board. She has an ecosystem in Nigeria. The name of the NGO is the Agile Advisor Africa. And she's been doing this now for about 4 years. So please also, you know, check the website out. It's www. As you can see, the Agile Advisor Africa. She's done amazing things in Nigeria with Agile. And we really just want to give her credit for what she also started. And of course, Nigeria has 200 million people. There's so much work to be done. As you can see, Messi is doing stuff. Tobe is doing something. We're all doing something. We're all doing something because there's just so much work to be done. So that's it from me for Abby.
All right, well, thank you so much. The Agile Advisor Africa, that is the website to connect with Abby and see the good work that she has been doing. And finally, there is me. My name is Tobe, as you all know. So outside of my day job as an engagement manager, I am the founder of Project U Platform and the Daily Agile Framework. My work helps my clients consider themselves as projects, and then I help them apply the Kaizen mindset and the GROW model to continuously improve themselves. I partner with them to crystallize their big picture, decompose themselves into tiny different facets, kind of like what we would call epics in our Agile and Scrum methodologies. And then we map out the action plans to help them drive towards their big picture and then create and find and adapt tools to help them get there. You can visit my website, www.tobeneji.com, to learn more about it and to sign up for my first Project U event that will be taking place in April. So that's about it with
we need Anu to come up, please. We need Anu to unmute herself. She didn't get her slide to us on time.
Oh, okay.
So we need Anu to unmute herself and tell us. She's done amazing stuff in Nigeria with girls in tech. So please, Anu, unmute yourself. She's still here. Anu, please unmute yourself and talk about the wonderful things you've been doing in Nigeria with girls in tech. Is she still here?
Yes, Anu is here. Anu, you're muted.
Anu, you're muted. We can't hear you. We can't see you. Please come and talk about your stuff. Unfortunately, your slide is not on the deck. Maybe she walked away from the computer.
Okay. We will see if when we get back from after the closing remarks.
Godwin can actually speak for Anu because Godwin was trying to say it. So Godwin,
okay.
You're more than welcome to do that now. So we can now have the Kahoot. That's it. We're done.
Yeah. Hold on. Godwin, I'm happy for you to talk on behalf of Anu if you wish, and then we'll go to Iyabo, and then we'll have our dance and Kahoot after that. Is that okay?
Okay, yeah. So Anu has this initiative that she did with young girls in Nigeria, and it was a free coding, teaching them how Scrum Mastery and all that. And it actually evolved a whole lot of girls. As a matter of fact, my niece was part of the people that actually enjoyed that good, gracious opportunity to be able to learn to code. So many things they learned. It was a boot camp, and you can imagine it was done at the same time when they had that NSARS movement, and with all that going on in Nigeria, they were still able to coordinate that and give those girls an opportunity to be something in life, to take their journey in technology to the next step. So we're very grateful. And like she said, I do not know if it's going to, when it's going to happen again, if it's going to be this year or next year, but I'm sure it's what something that everybody we need to embrace and help in making sure that the girl in Nigeria is actually educated, not just educated, but at least well educated and well-rounded. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Godwin. Beyond Girls in Tech, check it out. Hi, Tope. Hi, Utopa. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. It's been an amazing time with all of the Agilists and all our guests. Utopa, your final thoughts before we bring on Iyabo to give us our closing remark.
I thought the people wanted 77% wanted Kahoots.
Yeah, we'll do the Kahoots after the closing remark, and then everybody can go, and then we can do our dance. Utopa, your final thoughts before we get Iyabo on board.
Yeah, first of all, thanks to everyone who stayed when I think 5 minutes to or 15 minutes to the start. You remember the chat we're having about how many people do you think will be coming? We calculated, we added, we used our experience, and you know what? If we get this number, we'll be happy. If we get to this number, that will be perfect. You know what? We actually exceeded that high number we thought we're never going to get to.
Yep.
So in my mind, this is a great outing that we had today, and it can only get better from here. You've all done incredible job, and the passion has come up from everyone. So it can only get better from here. We have just started. We've laid the foundation. We've put the North Star. The vision is there. Now we're going to walk the talk. That's how I'm feeling right now, Tolu. What about you?
Thank you so much. It's been amazing. So I want to get to Yabo to give us our closing remarks, and then if anyone has any questions, still put it into the Q&A. We'll then go into the sort of open floor. Yabo, over to you for the closing remarks.
Thank you, Tolu. Thank you very much. I know Mercy wants to get in there with a Kahoot, but just to close up on everything and generally just let everybody know that this was a journey. I mean, most of us amongst, in this group of Agilists are in the diaspora, yet there is such a love and concern for Nigeria as a country in terms of where we are, where we should be. And we all know that Nigeria is rich in so much, in culture, in resources, and most importantly, in people. And people is one of the key factors in Agile, one of the main things. People are the very most important part of being Agile. So coming together to do this was a journey. As Mr. Ogala said, government is us. What we do about it is us. We live in a nation where we don't have so much of a say, no matter what the Constitution says in what is happening. But we know that the only way you can do anything is by taking small steps. And we've used this opportunity to take small steps, our own little footprint, if we say, in trying to do something about governance of all levels, from the top down to the grassroots, and see how, with this little step we've taken, maybe people will adopt, adapt, and generally build up on what we've done. Of course, it's not the stop point here. This is just the start, and we're moving on with that. And I loved the remarks from everyone. Thanks again at this point to all our speakers, to Mr. Ogala, to Aliyu, Mikam, and Scott. I mean, Scott, obviously the whole Agile20Reflect Festival is the basis of this whole thing. And Mary for even just coming up with this idea. And it was a journey of so many minds, people giving up their time. But at the end of the day, it was a bit difficult sometimes because you can never really put up, to get that pulse of exactly what Nigeria is about. There's so much that's happened in the past year. And because of what has happened in the past year, we have seen so much that there are things that are so wrong about governance. And by trying to use the Agile mindset to do something about that, knowing full well, as Mary said, that with Agile, you start from your home. Being Agile in your home, in your office, in what you do in your life, you turn your life into a project and you build with it on Agile. This is that kind of mindset we've used to approach what we've done here. Of course, the background of the Agile Manifesto, the Agile principles was the key, can I say, framework to what we did. So it was really a journey of us doing as we will. So in all of this, our take home and what we're trying to get out there is that if we don't take that step, there's no way we're going to be able to try and get people to think in that mindset. In Nigeria, Agile is new, it's building. as Mary said, she was contacted by Meekum, and she's been training him on that. So many people are learning, and it's something that it's going to build, it's going to grow. And when it suddenly starts accelerating, I mean, it's going to just blow into something. So if we start here and use this as the point of contact to build up and see how we can be that key turning point that will take people along and build what we actually truly believe can be a change in Nigeria, then there's nothing that can stop this. So we just want everyone to connect and understand where we're coming from, where we're trying to get to, and how we are so happy to take so many people along in this journey and see how we can turn Nigeria around. So again, I just want to say thank you for the honor and privilege of working with the other 16 Agilists. Thank you for all the speakers that have been on board. Thank you to you for coming, and just say a big thanks to everybody for this.
Thank you so much.
And
thank you.
Mercy's going to do a Kahoot. Don't miss out on that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yabo. It's good to thanks for the final remarks there. Thank you, everybody that's come. I'm an educator. I'm a trainer. I always tell my students when we finish the session, what have you learned so far today? So for me, the journey is just beginning for all of us. I'm passionate about learning. So to learn more about Agile, to learn more about what we're trying to do, go join our LinkedIn page, follow us on our LinkedIn page, go onto the Agile Reflects YouTube page, lots and lots of resources there, lots to learn. And yeah, follow us in this journey. I would love to communicate with you, start the conversation. And Mercy, you've got a Kahoot game for us. Whilst Mercy is facilitating the Kahoot game, if you've got questions, please pop it into the Q&A, and right after the Kahoot game, we'll fill those questions to whichever one of the Agilists are still on the panel. It's been a pleasure from me. Thank you very much, guys. Good night. Mercy, over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. I've dropped a link, a URL. It's just a 5-minute quiz, but I just need everyone to just plug in. You can do it from a browser. You can do it from downloading the app, but I'll tell you not to download the app. So, but I want to say thank you so much, Scott. I mean, that's I really appreciate your kind comments. It means everything to me. What you just said in the chat there, it means everything. Thank you so much. And it was a collective effort as well, but I really appreciate that for the recognition. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to start the game. Let me just see. Yep. It's a 5-minute game, and that will be it from my end. What else? Anything else that I want to start? No. So let me start the game. The pin code will be on the web, and let's see how much we can participate. It's a fun game. It's a very simple game, just to expose us to Nigeria, and we can get the knowing. I kind of felt that we'll run over time, so this was not, I was okay whether we had it or not. So the pin code is up. Please, let's plug it in, 700-6184. Let's all participate. It's all about Nigeria. When you log in, just enter your details. First and foremost, I want to say thank you, everyone. Thank you, Tolu, for the honor, Itopa, Pamela, Anu, Mary, Jane, Tobe. How many people can I remember? As many as I can. Grace, all of you, thank you so much. Please, let's just jump onto the Kahoot. It's 5 minutes. I'll give everybody another 1 minute to join in. Then I start. It's just about Nigeria. The game is all about Nigeria, nothing more. It's all about Nigeria, and it'll be fun to see you guys participate in it. So in 5 minutes, the game will be up. Thank you so much. I check Olaleko. So I'm going to start now. So the code, even if I've started, you can still join us on the game. So let's go. The code will be at the bottom of the screen, which it's all about Nigeria. So let's give it a go. Please, can you hear me? Particularly, I want to say it's an honor working with this Agilist. So it's a very quick, what's the capital? The very first, what's the capital of Nigeria? We still have 13 seconds to go. Is it Hong Kong? I'm sure. Okay, 12 people. So everybody got it right. It's actually not Abuela. No, it's actually Abuja. So thank you. I want to make sure this is fast. What are the 3 most common languages spoken in Nigeria? Is it English, Igbo, Laruba, French, German, Spanish, Nigerian, English, Suba, or Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa? Which one is it? Yeah, okay, and the time is up. So it's not English, it's not Igbo, it's not Laruba. The 3 most popular languages, like the lady that did the chant, is Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa. Despite that, there are over 56 languages. No, I think that's ethnic groups in Nigeria. So the languages is over 200, okay? Thank you so much. And question 4. What is the population of Nigeria? Is it 10 to 100 million? Is it 200 to 300 million? 100 to 200 million? Under 10 million? What do you think the right answer is? What do you think it is? Awesome. So the right answer is 100 to 200 million. Is not 10 to 100 million. Neither is it under 10 million. Nigeria is a large country. It should be recognized as a continent in my way. Okay. So off we go. And this is a double point for anybody that gets it. What is the Nigerian film industry called? The movie you're seeing on the screen, Omogeto, is one of the highest grossing movie that was released in the peak of COVID. Is it Nollywood, Nollywood, or Nollywood? What is it called? It's not Nollywood, it's Nollywood. Okay? TU. And up to the next question. Which of this country is next to Nigeria? Do you think it's Zimbabwe, Libya, Iran, Niger? Which one is it? Is it Libya? Is it Iran? Is it Zimbabwe? Okay. It's Niger. Absolutely not Iran. Very good. Very good. You're doing well. What system of government does Nigeria operate or have? What do you think? Is it a dictatorship? Is it a democratic communism? What do you think? Or some? It is a democratic, but doesn't seem like it. With Agile, hopefully we'll get there. So fantastic. This man in this picture, who is he? What do you think he is? A musician? What do you think he is? Is he a priest? An actor? Or the president? Victor, I see you say boo-boo. Okay. Or some. Brilliant. What is Nigerian currency called? By the way, is it dollars? Is it yen? What do you think the currency is called? I should have put this thing in 20 seconds. I kept putting it in 30 seconds. Makes it long. What is Nigerian currency called? Although $1 to it right now is 474, which is all I can say. Brilliant. It's Naira. It is not dollars. Nigerian currency isn't dollars. Okay. When is when is Nigeria Independence Day? Is it 24th December, 31st February, May 17th, or 1st of October? For the crack of it, let me see if anybody takes 31st February. Okay, great, nobody did. So the right answer is October 1st. That is Nigerians' Independence Day. Now, this is a double point as well. What year did Nigeria gain independence? Everyone? Is this 1960, 1950, 1970, 1997? What year did we gain independence? What year did we gain independence? Brilliant, 1960 and not 1970. Okay, moving on. Double point. What is the Nigerian dish called? This particular dish that looks yummy. Is it omelette and coconut mix? What do you think it is? Does it make you hungry? I'm sure you saw the challenge on TikTok about eating Nigerian fufu and something. What is this dish called? It is called pounded yam and egusi. Let me sound it like the American people that actually called it. It's called egusi. Okay, another double point coming up. What do this color represent in the flag? Is it maturity and power? Is it death and life? Is it peace and wealth? It doesn't represent anything. What do you think the right answer is? We have like 6 more games to go. It is peace and wealth, okay? It does represent something. So thank you for your risk. Oh, you've been taken out. No, no, no. How do you reclaim that? Another 2-point loading, which is not true about Nigerian executive. You have to take your time and read this. The executive branch has both a president and prime minister. The president is directly elected by the people. The president must win 25% of the votes in 2/3 of the state. The president is not limited to 2 terms by the Constitution, which is not correct. What do you think? Okay, so the right answer is the executive branch has both a president and a prime minister, and that's not what we operate in Nigeria. No, no, no. Oh no, they've knocked you out totally. Wow. What is the first capital of Nigeria? What was the very first capital of Nigeria? What do you think it was? What do you think the very first capital of Nigeria was? And we have 4 more games to go. Just 4 more. Just 4 more. Brilliant. It was called Lagos. Nobody got it wrong. Boss, they've knocked you out. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, and so another double point loading. Which of this fact about Lagos is incorrect? Lagos is the biggest city on the African continent. It stopped being the main capital in 1914. It's a port town. It changed its name from Clogau after the British invasion. What is the right answer? I get it. If we struggled, so that's the right answer. Okay, so which means Lagos is the biggest city on the African continent, is a port town. That's where the biggest port is, Tinkan Island. It stopped being a capital in 1914. I didn't even know that, but that's what information does for you. And we have 2 more to go. Which is this game that is showing on your screen? What is it called? Is it Tetris? Is it Cola? What do you think this game is called? I love it so much. It's such a brilliant game. It's very popular. What do you think it's called? Often played by adults, but I try to get my children to play it. And the right answer is Ayo. And now this is a word cloud. I'd like you to just give us one word. What does Nigeria, after this experience, what does it represent for you? Just one word to represent Nigeria based on this. Just one word. One word. Okay. Let's see. Peace, Tetris, 5G. I love it. Prosperity. I love that. Actually need to send the screenshot to the group. I love that it represents hope. Hope indeed is what it represents for us. Thank you so much. And it does represent 5G, great, but not Tetris. Home, it is home. And now this is where we just want you to tell us, how can Agile improve governance in Nigeria? In your own words, so you can type as long as you want. It's not just one word. Let us know. We have shared a lot of things. How do you think, based on the representation of the 4 values and the 12 principles, how can Agile improve Nigeria? Let us see your responses. We still have over a minute to actually type. You have a lot of time. This is part of the feedback that we might discuss in the next phase. So, only one, okay, 3 now. Please let us know what you think, how Agile can improve governance in Nigeria. How can Agile improve governance? And on to the very last one. We're 20 seconds away from being over. Just 20 seconds. Thank you, by the way, for staying this long. We know we shot over 30 minutes extra. We're supposed to wrap up in 2 hours. But thank you so, so much. And this is it. We can have some dance for like 10 minutes. Yes, 10 people submitted. Let's show the responses. Adapt and improve institution to meet and exceed current world standard. Openness, governance, respect, transparency. I like that keyword there. Nigeria needs to learn how to work collaboratively and support each other. I totally agree with that. Mind shift, indeed. Nigeria needs to adopt a style that people want, and be open to try new things rather than follow a system of government. A government handed down by other countries. Totally agree with that. I couldn't agree more. By getting leaders to adopt a collective mindset and serve the people. Nigeria needs to learn how to work collaboratively and support each other. Better nation if leaders buy into it and commit. A change in people's mindset and change our mindset and the way of thinking. Incorporate it in day-to-day activities. Thank you so much. And on to the last one. Actually, I'd like to skip this one.
lost you, Mercy. Hi, panelists. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Tulu.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I think we lost Mercy right on the last question, but she was going to skip it anyway. So thank you very much for everybody who's stayed to this point. There are a few questions in the Q&A box. If anybody wants to have any question answered, Agilist, if you're here, just randomly pick a question to answer. I'm going to read out a couple. Most of the questions are a bit, they're very similar to each other. So I will read out a couple. Yes, go on.
Yeah, just before you go ahead, because we have now overshoot our initial time by about 30 minutes, I want us to time box this.
Yeah.
So how many minutes do we have to try to share answers? And what we can also do is everything that came through today is going to be part of our repository.
Our retrospective.
First of all, our repository is something that we share on our page for everybody to start getting answers to. So we don't need to answer everything today.
No, we're not. Definitely not.
And then let's set maybe 5-10 minutes.
5 minutes.
Time bomb. Yeah.
5 minutes. And just really any one of the panelists. I hope you guys are not, I can see some tired faces. Hi, Amy.
I want to say that all the questions will be on the LinkedIn page. Responses will be given to all the questions on the LinkedIn page. So if you follow the LinkedIn page, you will get answers to all the questions. So please follow the page. We will personally respond to all the questions and it will be on the pages. Okay. So thank you.
Why can't I actually
go on, Grace?
I can't access the question and answer.
Okay, we can read it out to you. I think a couple of people have been answering some of the questions directly. I can see Pamela has answered a few. So yeah, we can read some questions out to you for a couple of minutes. Godwin, did you have a question? Yes, sir.
Yeah, there was somebody that wanted to say if members of the audience wanted to have like a response, wanted to say something, but I do not see that name. It was a Yinka, I know. I can't see the name.
It says, when do participants outside of the panelists get to have a say? Yeah, you can get to have a say now, but yeah, you can put the questions in.
Sorry. Yeah. Mary, I wanted to suggest, now that we have presented this manifesto, I think we need to have like an open house Q&A where we're not talking, no special guests. People can now ask questions. It's very interactive before the festival is over. And I think Scott is saying something about connecting us with the authors of the manifesto for them to see the work we have done as well. So that can be done before the festival is over. I think we need to leverage that window because people want to have a say, want to know how to be part of what we're doing. So I think we can lock in another event, just a Q&A on the manifesto that we presented today for people to just have a time of their life and ask us questions because many people are new to Agile. As you know, that this market is still growing. So that's what I think. Scott, what do you think about the authors of the manifesto witnessing what we have done here today?
They're all technical software people. I think there's lots of people in the community that would be interested in this. They were kind of methods people, many of whom don't actually, believe in Agile anymore. I think what you've done here is move something beyond what they were in. But I think it's there are many people in the community that would absolutely adore it around the world. So I think opening the door to the world as to what you've done is definitely worth doing. Yeah.
And of course, we have the LinkedIn page to continue to engage with people who are curious about what we've done here today. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's the point,
Yeah, I mean, if we can get the video up soon and get that out, I think the Q&A idea is brilliant.
Yeah.
Because and it really does allow you guys to kind of showcase. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to use the platform we have in the festival to do something in the next week, the last week.
Okay, I'll speak to you about it anyway. So
thank you very much.
Every day, Mercy.
Understand that Mary, like we said, that there's a second phase of this, so it's open to whoever wants to be part of it. And so please follow the page so you can be abreast with what we're doing. I don't know. That's it.
That's it, really.
Yeah. I think the message to those following us, those still on the call, is get engaged, get involved. Follow us on the LinkedIn page. Other activities will come up. Other form of engagement will come up. Let's stay connected.
The other thing I would suggest is I would perhaps do a website with the manifesto and the principles, because more people will see the website than they will on the LinkedIn setup.
Yeah, I agree with you. So, guys, that's another meeting we need to have.
No, when we meet,
as a next release.
Well, that's not. Again, that's not a meeting. You could Mercy probably have it done in an hour.
I give up.
Okay.
All right. So, can I field one question and we'll call it an evening?
Yes, please.
Great. So, question for the panel. Which principle will tackle diversity, inclusion, cultural differences, and conscious bias? It's a question from Femi Ayodele.
I believe that principle that talks about collaboration with the grassroots. We had a principle that says frequent collaboration with people, and it could start from the local authority, I suppose. I don't remember, but I seem to remember when we were having discussions that came up.
Yeah, absolutely. Does anybody have the document up, the principles? There is definitely a couple that tackle bias.
You should have a website.
Yeah, we do. We should. All right.
So
look, yes.
I think 9 does it.
Website
the right of citizens to express their expectations for accountability and governance without fear of intimidation.
Okay. There's that. There's another one about unconscious. Yeah. There's another one about unconscious bias.
If you look at number 4, that sort of like touches on it.
To me, that was the point I was trying to drive at. When you're talking about unconscious biases and all sorts of biases, Nigeria is a mishmash of them. So you will find that the principles are more than one principle that dealt with those biases. Even the first one, where one of the values where we're talking about meritocracy over nepotism, that in itself is a form of a bias. So I think navigating through the principles and the values, you will see that most of them dealt with those biases. One of the problems, or the biggest problem in Nigeria, is that the cultural mix has allowed the people that want to abuse it, instead of using it as a strength, they're now using it against the people, and that's, I think, where those biases cross each other and they cause all sorts of problems. So these principles and the values on top of them deals with it as a matter of course. So that's what I wanted to say.
And we also pointed out somewhere in one of the principles that governance should be taken outside of the bias of religion and ethnicity, and in fact, Victor, and any other biases, because this is for everyone. So I believe that principle captures all the biases that you may have out there.
Good.
It might be good to add gender in there as well, because remember one of the things that the group has really done well is to have a good gender balance. I think that's really important. You've built that in automatically
by design.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. And the last comments in the chat box says, thank you very much. Appreciated. This is an issue very close to my heart. As some panelists already know, I'm willing to work collaboratively to further this course. Thank you. It's been a pleasure having you guys here with us today. Itopa, thank you so much for being a fantastic co-host. All the panelists, it's been a pleasure having you here. Pamela, it's been amazing hanging out with you. Godwin, Victor, Grace, Jane, Anu, you're here. We were trying to get you to talk about the Beyond Girls in Tech, but Godwin was able to represent that course. I don't know if you want to say something before everybody leaves. I think it's a really important course. Are you there, Anu?
You're muted.
You're muted. The watchword for the century. Go on, Anu.
Godwin did it. I was told Godwin did a fantastic job. Godwin, thank you so much. I don't want to take everybody's time, but if you're interested in initiatives that, who is this person calling? Sorry.
Mercy.
Please go on africaagility.org.
africaagility.org.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. Jane, thanks so much. Yabo, great closing remark today. It's been a pleasure.
Guys, fill the form to
Mercy,
showcase Africa. Yeah.
thank you so much. Pete, amazing job. Mary, I'll let you have the last word. Good night.
Thank you all so much. It's been an awesome evening. I'm just so grateful to God that we started this 3 months ago. Ups and downs, but we stayed focused, and here we are today. And most importantly, I want to thank the people who are still hanging on here, the audience. It just shows that you're really curious about Agile. So please continue with that. There's so much to gain in this space. And, you know, we had our guest here today. The conversation, this is not just going to be a talk show. It is not going to be a talk show. We're going to take baby steps and something is going to happen. I can already see almost 30-something people here, you know, still staying here. It's been 3 hours almost and you're still here. That means a lot to us. You will not be here if you're not curious. You will not be here if you didn't feel like you needed to do something also. So already, I think we've achieved a lot already tonight. So a big thank you to my fellow Agilists for all the time that we've all invested. It's just been simply awesome. I can't thank you enough. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Well done.